So harsh. But
So you're going
preteen.
You're not going with high school. You're going like 8th grade.
I'm going. Yeah, middle school.
Okay, cool.
Middle school, because that's when dreams affect us the most. Like when you're in high school, you're starting to get out of that you're not afraid of the dark anymore as much. You're not afraid to sleep in your room.
I'm still afraid of the dark. Who are you talking about?
Yes, you're not afraid to sleep alone necessarily.
Yes,
you're not sitting there going like,
I sleep with the nightlight, okay. Josh. Okay.
There has been times where I get nervous that I'm going to have sleep paralysis when no one's home. And I've lived with my wife for fucking 12 years now. So, like, if my wife is gone on, like, a girl's vacation and maybe my kids are with my in-laws or something like that, I'll have a moment where I'm like, it's fucking dark in here. I hope I don't have sleep paralysis tonight, or this is going to be terrifying.
It's rough.
But, so that's why I want, like, maybe like freshmen in high school. If the studio's like, we can't do fucking you can't kill 6-year-olds, Josh.
But middle school's good. I mean, you're right. They did it, and that's fine. I like that. Yeah. They're on bikes.
Yeah, and they're like scared of dreams. They're trying to figure stuff out. Plus, they're like puberty time, so when they're having these nightmares, they're kind of like confused if it like you can have the scene where the mom is like, your body's changing, things are different, you might dream about a fucking scary monster with spike hands, like they're so I want kids in it. I just feel like my problem with all of the movies has always been they know what dreams are, they get it, like it's they're too involved in their dreams. I want the kids, because that's scary. The kids in dreams is terrifying. And finally, I want some hell. I want hell in it. I I wasn't the biggest, I'm not going to say I'm like a huge fan of it or whatever, but there's the sequence where, they're in the fucking sewers or whatever, and it's got this dank, dark, hellish vibe. And you see the fire or whatever. He's like dancing in the fire and stuff like that. I feel like we've gotten to a place. Remember in the second Bill and Ted movie, they go to hell?
Oh, fuck yeah. I love it.
I want that hell. I want that's like a terrifying scene to me with the and that almost has a dreamlike element to it where you're seeing into what terrifies them.
Yeah, your own
like
personal
what's
hell.
Scary to them. I want these kids to go to their own personal hell. I want to see these kids go to hell, and I want to see what hell looks like through each of their perspectives and see Freddy Krueger as a demon. Like, I want to see that demon element of Freddy Krueger.
Sure, I love it. I love exploring Freddy as an even bigger villain than just a guy with a hat and some claws. Like, they hint upon it in the movies that he's, like, got all these powers and stuff. But you're right, now that we have the technology, we're at a place where we can really go huge with it.
Yeah, and you get some nice practical set pieces. Once they get to hell, the first that's your final act of the movie is they go to hell or whatever, but we get some cool, like maybe there are some fire sequences. I mean, even in 3 there's that cool like back alley set piece. That kind of stuff could be like still used. Those sort of set pieces, practical set pieces. But then you can enhance them now so much where you can have them, looking massive and terrifying or extremely claustrophobic, and like each one of these kids is in their own terrifying hell that speaks to everyone, so you can kind of scare everyone with Freddy Krueger. And I guess that's the big thing, is like scary. I thought that Jackie Earl Haley, is that his name?
Bad News Bears boy,
he was fine, whatever. But the idea was like scarier. You know what I mean?
They tried.
Right, but didn't hit.
Didn't
hit.
That's
what I mean, but didn't hit. I feel like, but it didn't hit because there was nothing scary in the movie. Like, you never was sitting there going like, wow, that's a terrifying situation to be in. That's what it needs. It needs that. It needs that terrifying situation to be in with a Freddy Krueger that's truly scary. Talking about kids' assholes and stuff like that. No assholes. No, Ixnay the assholes.
Your asshole's mine. The Jackie Earle Haley, I will say that I feel like he got the short end of the stick. He could have been great. He could have been great if like the movie was good. And that's very sad. So would you give him another chance?
You feel, I mean, has the bridge been burned? Like, does the audience hate him enough at this point?
Yeah, you're right. The audience would revolt.
I think you got to go with someone fresh, someone new, and someone completely unexpected. Like, Pennywise hit so hard because everyone went, we don't know this guy from Adam. We don't trust him. We don't like the way he looks. And then when he pulled it off, everyone was just like, oh, shit. And for the shortcomings of it, for me, I thought he did a killer job. Like, Pennywise is fantastic in that movie. And I think part of it is because our expectation was not, we weren't waiting for something. We weren't going like, what's this guy going to do? We were just kind of like, he's got big shoes to fill. We'll see what happens.
How do you beat Tim Curry? It's
right.
almost impossible.
You just do something completely different. And I think that's what needs to happen. I think you need to go completely different while still maintaining that idea of what Freddy was and what Freddy was meant to be.
I keep a dream journal, and you can have all that shit.
And that's a big part of it, is I think the dream journal has to play a part of it as well. I think one of the kids keeps a dream journal, and we get into that.
I highly recommend that to everyone on the face of the planet. Is like, it took me a little while to get into it, but I'm a decade in, and I haven't filled that much. It's like one single notebook. But I started it in 2009. I skipped a couple of years, but I'm almost done. And reading back on these dreams, I would have never remembered any of this shit, but to go and see what I was thinking at those times, the people that I brought into my dreams, all that stuff. So maybe there's something like one of the characters has that sort of a dream journal where he's like, wow, the seeds for this have been planted, and maybe that helps them somehow, you know? But yeah, I totally recommend keeping a dream journal, especially if you're going to fight Freddy Krueger. The only studio note I think that they have is that Harvey Weinstein is coming out of retirement to produce.
Oh my God! And now it's my new nightmare.
Exactly. This is Harvey Weinstein's big comeback apology tour with Josh Stifter's A Nightmare on Elm Street part whatever. We're fucked.
I walk into the room, he looks at me and he says, your asshole belongs to me. And I'm like, shit.
No.
Me too.
Not me. Oh, man, Harvey, you fucking piece of shit.
All right. So you got a pitch?
I have something that I don't have a pitch for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but I have a pitch for something that I would do that is an original idea, because I went to an all-boys Catholic school, and I have a lot of guilt, and I have a lot of fucked up thoughts, and I'm a piece of shit, and I hate myself. So, that's starting from there.
That's kind of where everyone starts, right?
I think everybody starts there. But for me, I like a lot of I like a lot of ideas in Catholicism, and I like some of the tenets of love and all that stuff, and some of the things that Jesus put out, his greatest hits. But the idea that I went through this institution, I mean, I was confirmed into the Catholic Church by somebody who later on was outed as a child molester.
Okay.
That fucks me up in a major way. So even if I was, say, still religious or believed in every single thing that the Catholic Church taught, isn't that null and void? Like, don't I have to go back and redo that? Like, it just fucking, I don't know. It throws me for a loop, because they hide pedophiles get away, just right. So much filthy things happen. And then, even if you go into history about all the fucking shitty things that the Catholic Church used to do, like the Inquisition, there's so much there.
It's almost all based on evil things. There's so much evil.
There's so much evil, but while there's also so much good. I mean, I've met Catholic priests who I know, and I don't know, but I know that my instinct tells me that these are good people, and they do not mean people harm. So my idea would be based in like a Catholic, all boys Catholic school, and it starts out in like, I don't know, the 50s or the 60s, and the valedictorian is giving this great speech. Everybody loves this guy, whatever. And the structure's not really there yet. I'll figure it out. But it flash forwards a couple of years, and one of the priests is in a gay bar, like a leather daddy bar, from this Catholic school. And he sees...
You had me at leather daddy.
Leather daddy! And he sees... the valedictorian is in there having a great time with his friends, dressed as a leather daddy, has whatever, and the valedictorian recognizes Father, let's say, Jeffrey, Father Jeffrey, oh my, what are you doing here? Like, and then so Father Jeffrey, knowing that he's been outed as a closeted homosexual, runs back to the all-boys Catholic school and gathers up his fellow brothers and fathers and says, I was doing some undercover work. I found out that Mikey there, who was our valedictorian a few years ago, is sinning in the homosexual community, and we must do something to stop it because it will come out and ruin the reputation of our school. And this is, mind you, just the first 10 minutes of the movie. So they get him, they kidnap him and bring him to the Catholic school, and they start to like torture him and try to beat the gay out of him. And it doesn't end well. They end up burying him in like the new wing of the school where you ever read that story, The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe? Edgar. Well,
Edgar.
Edgar Allan Poe. And so they bury him in a wall and just leave him there to die in his leather daddy outfit. And all the fathers and brothers and all that forget about it. Fast forward to modern day, right? And there's this new crop of kids that we introduce, and it doesn't matter that some of them are homosexuals. It doesn't matter that some of them are drug addicts. In fact, the richer you are and the more fucked up you are, the less that the brothers and fathers care because their daddies and mommies are donating money to the school.
Yeah, paying a shitload to the school. Yeah.
You know? So, but what happens is somehow, like, the school is being renovated, and one of the only elder priests left is Father Jeffrey. He's like the president of the school, you know? And he's still a piece of shit, but, you know, we know he's a piece of shit, but the kids sort of like him because they've been there forever. And when they're remodeling the school, somehow our group of heroes stumbles upon the remains of this young man, and he gets resurrected. I don't know exactly how. We'll figure that out later. But he is now what we call the Demon Daddy.
Demon Daddy.
Demon Daddy. So basically, he's like Freddy Krueger meets Pinhead, and he's like, I was exiled to hell by the priests and the brothers of this school, and I've learned all the secrets, and I will have my revenge. But first, since you resurrected me, I will give you all one wish. And so all these youngsters, you know, they take their wish for this or that, but it turns out at the end, Demon Daddy gets full-blown free and starts to just murder every last motherfucker in sight.
So he's doing wishes too.
Yeah, he's doing wishes. Well, okay, or maybe it's not wishes, but something like that where he can, like, maybe they're all bullied kids and he's like, I'll go fuck those kids up for you, and then you need to give me permission to free me so I can have free reign to go get my revenge. Okay,
so he's got a little bit of like genie,
the
like
leprechaun.
A little bit of Aladdin, a little bit of leprechaun. Like he's granting wishes. He's got the genie thing where he's like, I'll do these things for you, and then you'll set me free.
You have to set me free. Yeah, he's bound to these kids because they're the ones who.
Was the leprechaun that way? Did the leprechaun want to be set free?
Actually, no, probably not. The leprechaun wanted his gold. But I thought in like real leprechaun lore that he would grant you wishes if you.
I think he grants wishes, but I don't know if it's for freedom. I think it's like to give him back his gold.
Right. Okay. So it's more genie-ish.
It's more genie. I grant you guys 3 wishes, and then I get to go free. And then when he's set free, he's just like, "Oh, you fuckers done fucked
you
up.
Fucked up, you bitch." And but the thing is, like, it's mayhem. I mean, he pretty much destroys the entire school, the entire surrounding town, and these kids are like, holy fuck, we let the Demon Daddy out, we gotta fucking fight him. And it turns out that the last time that the Catholic Church was actually truly blessed was back in the day, way back in the day, like, I don't know, the fucking 800s or something. And then those weapons in the 800s were blessed by truly blessed Catholic priests, and there's a museum in town that holds some of these weapons, so the kids have to go get those weapons, and that's how they fight the Demon Daddy, with like these ancient swords and fucking axes and shit like that. And that's basically what I have. I mean, I'll fill in the blanks with some backstory or exposition or whatever, but I think that there's something there.
I definitely think there's something there. See, to me, the thing I really like is I feel like it hits. I see where you're coming with this pitch from Nightmare on Elm Street, because it's basically taking Freddy Krueger, giving him the backstory, but it also gives him something that almost makes him like a good guy off the bat, where you're like, this guy's doing good stuff, okay. And then when hell breaks loose, I'm imagining hell like thoroughly like he's fucking slaughtering.
Oh, he's killing everybody. He doesn't even care. And the thing is, like, we have to remember that Father Jeffrey is such a slimy piece of shit that he's able to like maneuver his way out of these situations